great morning, Houston, downtown, midtown, third ward, fifth ward, and those of you listening in the car at 102.5 FM. Great morning to you that are tapped in through our free KMAZ app, and great morning to you that are listening to us through our website at amazing1025fm.org. I'm Amanda Sapp here on the Amazing 102.5 FM, your do good through good station where we're changing lives one listener at a time. You guys know that I'm always so excited about bringing you guests who are doing amazing things in amazing ways. I cannot wait to share with you who I have in the studio with me today. So please, by all means, turn your volumes all the way up as I introduce to you who I have in the studio with me today. She is a multi-instrumentalist and singer-songwriter based in Houston, Texas. Her instrumental talent consists of piano, cello, guitar. She began piano lessons at the age of 5 and began her other endeavors at the age of 11. She attended University of Houston studying piano performance for one academic school year before transferring to Berklee College of Music. She has She's been allocated by artists such as Big Sean, OG Bobby, Billions, Chloe Bailey, Complex Bootsy Collins, Masego, Pleasure P, Tamar Braxton, Chris Bosch. There are so many more to this list, and she'll share with us who else. A Hip Hop Family Christmas Wedding on streaming on VH1 starring Neo and Carrie Hilson, and What Happened to My Sister, currently streaming on the Lifetime channel app. She is also the cellist for Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church. In 2021, she debuted her EP titled Tales from a Mended Heart. She would consider herself bold, a creative, and fun. Please welcome into our amazing studios, Miss Klarc Naomi. Great morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So glad to have you in our studio today. And nonetheless, to talk about all of the great things that you are doing as an instrumentalist. For someone who is just hearing about you for the very first time, tell us just a little bit more about you.
My name is Klarc Naomi, and I play the piano, cello, guitar, and I sing and I songwrite. I love to make musical covers to hip hop and R&B music on my social media platforms. I also enjoy making my own music, and you can hear some of that. It's already out on Spotify, Apple Music, and all other streaming platforms. What else do I do? Yeah, I just, love to make music and share it with everyone.
Love that. Love that. Miss Klarc, as a multi-instrumentalist, what inspired you to learn and play multiple instruments, and how has that influenced your songwriting process?
Oh wow, can you ask that
I
again?
sure can. I will repeat this for you. As a multi-instrumentalist, what inspired you to learn and play multiple instruments? Let's start there.
Well, when I was 3, I was at a grand piano, my great aunt's grand piano, and I was playing with it like I knew what I was doing. So she plays piano as well, and she told my mom to put me in lessons when I turned 5. So my mom did that. So I feel like I never really had space to be like why I wanted to do this. It was just kind of like I was drawn to it from a super early age, like 3. And then when I saw the strings at my elementary school program, I just felt drawn to it and wanted to do it then. And initially I was going to do the violin, but my mom, she was like, you're going to get tired of it, making your neck that way. So choose the cello. You can sit down. That's going to be great for you. So I was like, sure. I mean, I don't really care which one. I just want to do it. And that's how it all came to be. And I just had an old guitar sitting around, and I just was like, let me see if I can try my hand at this.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Now, tell me about that journey, and what was it like? Did you see other people that look like you playing instruments like this? What inspired you to keep going, and when did you decide to take it seriously?
I just always felt like it was the only thing I was good at. I mean, I excelled in my academics, but I felt like music was just like, I don't know what else to do with life other than that. Like, that's just what's most fulfilling. And I didn't really see too many people doing it like me, because I started off in private lessons. So it was just, a private studio with maybe 15, 20 other kids. And it was only me and like the Asian kids. So there wasn't any representation. I am that representation is what I'm learning now for like other people. And before, of course, like I'm just doing it for fun, my own, benefit. But I didn't think that it mattered to others. But I'm starting to see like now
it does.
Yeah, and other younger girls are looking up to me that are black and playing string instruments, and I'm like, okay, maybe you should start I was always taking it seriously,
Sure.
but like now it's like, okay, you have power in a way.
Not in a way. You
Yeah.
do. I only heard a small snippet of what you were doing earlier and what you'll be able to perform with us later, and I was super impressed.
Oh,
And
thank you.
I could feel the movement in the room just by your instrument. I don't like to toot my own horn,
Oh.
but I did play the mellophone. I got a scholarship to play the mellophone in college. I played the French
Really?
horn in school. So this I love.
Yeah,
I'm
so that means
excited
you
about
have
this.
an ear.
Yes. I
Yeah.
literally only one because I can't hear out of my right ear. Girl, yeah, I'm
Really?
deaf. But anyway. And so listen, Houston, Texas has a rich music scene. How has being based in Houston influenced your music and career?
Hmm. I grew up in Tomball, so I didn't really engulf myself into the Houston music scene until now when I'm able to start like exploring and driving places and going to like clubs and live music scenes and bars of that nature. So I've been influenced, I guess I could say, by just seeing how how the community it provides, because I'm like, oh, I know all these musicians and
Yeah.
stuff, and we all know each other just by like social media or word of mouth now. And then also with those musicians, it networks to other musicians that play for A-list artists or whatever, and so it's just a big web of networks. And in a way, I'm influenced by that because I'm like, you never know who you're talking to and what that could lead to.
That's true. That's true. I often hear artists say, it wasn't until I left the city that I was able to blow up and do all these amazing things. I understand you're from Tomball, but did you ever feel like if I have to leave this city or I have to leave this area to make it?
Yeah. Like there's nothing going on in Tomball. I mean, nothing. Actually, I filmed the VH1 movie that I was in Tomball. So that was something because I was like,
that's super dope.
Yeah. But I knew that if I wanted to be more involved, I had to like branch out and be in Houston. And people were like, oh, you drive so far. And I'm like, look, I have to, because that's where the bread is.
Yeah. The bread and
not the bread, but like I don't mean bread like finance, but
mean.
like everything.
Yes.
I was gonna say bread and butter, but I was like, I don't want to use the phrase wrong.
So tell me about how you are able to take this music, make it your own, and then at any point do you say to yourself, oh my gosh, I'm doing something for VH1, I'm doing something for all of these different channels that people only think are a dream away, far away, untouchable. Tell me a little bit about that and how you feel seeing what you thought could be actually become reality.
Oh wow, that's kind of loaded. In a good way.
In a good way, okay.
I don't ever think about it until I look back on it and reflect, and I'm like, oh wow, that's kind of amazing. Even in just the music covers I make online, when I'm doing it, I'm like, okay, yeah. And then I go back and I'm like, that's pretty
I just
cool.
did that.
Yeah. And then even still talking about the movie, it was so casual there. And I saw Neo and Carrie Hilson, and it was just like, oh hey. Oh hey. So even now thinking back, I'm like, that was crazy. Like I was with those people. And then I got there and they told me, okay, you're gonna write a song with Pleasure P. I said, oh, okay, great. And we ended up doing that, but I was so nervous because it was just something right on the spot. And I had never done nothing right on the spot, but it told me that I just needed to trust myself. And I ended up doing it. They liked it. They aired it, and they put me in the preview. So that was pretty cool too.
I love it. I'm so excited to have you here in the studio with us. I have Klarc Naomi. She is a multi-instrumentalist and a singer-songwriter based
Yes.
here in Houston, Texas. And she's here with us today talking about her journey. And later on, we're going to get a live performance from her. Do you have a time? We're going to take a break and come back and talk more with you.
Okay.
Awesome. Guys, stay tapped in, stay tuned in, stay amazing. I'm Amanda Sapp. We'll be right back. What's up, guys? We are back. We're back. I'm Amanda Sapp here on Amazing 102.5 FM, your do good through good station where we're changing lives one listener at a time. I have the opportunity to have someone in here who is bold, creative, and fun. She is a multi-instrumentalist and singer-songwriter based in Houston, Texas. Please again welcome into our amazing studio, Miss Klarc Naomi. Great morning.
Good morning. Hello, hello.
So glad to have you in here in the studio with us today. I'm hearing all of these great things about people that you've worked with in the past, movies that you are a part of. You've been on the previews of these movies and, talking about how excited it is to see your dreams become reality. At any point, did you ever say to yourself, you know what, this cello thing ain't working, this singer-songwriter thing ain't working, I'm not getting the traction that I want right now? Or has it always been just a smooth ride for you?
Every other day, literally every other day, I think like that. And I'm actively trying to work on changing my mindset because I get opportunities. And of course, I'm grateful for them. But I think everyone just wants to jump to the destination so quickly. But I know that it doesn't happen overnight, but it's just a learning thing and a practice thing for me to train my brain not to let it slip into all of that negativity.
Get out of your own head.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now tell me about the singer-songwriter part of you. What are we singing? How are we singing? What is the vibe of that? Give me a little bit about your history in singing.
So my mom discovered I could sing because I was singing in the shower, and she was like, that doesn't sound too bad. So then I started taking it seriously and just uploading singing covers online, and I'd always wanted to do singing gigs, and then I finally started getting a few recently. And then throughout my childhood I was doing choir at school, but now I mostly just do my covers and then also write my own music. I have an EP out on all streaming platforms called Tales from a Mended Heart, and I have 5 songs on there, all original. I had them produced by Davion Bots, so shout out to him. And yeah, I'm still writing songs. I'm working on another single too, and I want to hopefully put out an album one day.
Can you give us a little snippet of your singing voice? Can we get a little taste of that?
Sure. What should I sing? This is always the hard part, thinking of what to sing. Okay, I'll do this. Some people live for the fortune. Some people live just for the fame. Some people live for the power, yeah. Some people live just to play the game.
You better, girl. You better. I love it. Yay! I love it.
Thank you.
You're known for your captivating live performances. How do you engage with the audience and create a memorable experience on stage?
Can you repeat that?
Yes, I can. You are known for your captivating live performances.
Yes.
How do you engage with the audience and create a memorable experience on stage?
I just zone in.
Yeah.
And I think that suctions people to zone in with me because I don't do anything.
They vibe with you. Yeah. They get on your wavelength.
And I think it resonates with people because I'm just in my own world playing, and they say, I love how you play. And I'm like, I'm not playing any sort of way other than just playing it.
But you're doing what you love, and it invites people to share your world.
Yeah. And I think that it rubs off on people. And I think that's what makes it so enjoyable because, if I'm doing, people love to do what they love. And so when I'm doing that, it's kind of like I'm throwing off those vibes onto other people, onto the audience.
I love that. Who are your biggest musical influences, and how do you incorporate their influence into your own music while maintaining your unique sound?
I love Bruno Mars. And then, of course, the greats like standards, staples, Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney Houston, Alicia Keys. I do love Prince Royce, bachata music, and Anderson Paak.
Mhm.
Those are my top. And Nicki Minaj. I don't know how I could forget that. She actually shouted me out on
No.
Twitter this past week.
Mhm.
I did a
Come
cover to one of
on.
her songs, and she said that it was beautiful. So
Mhm.
that was
Super
exciting.
dope.
Yes.
Super dope. What has been the most significant moment of achievement in your musical career so far, and how did it impact your journey?
Oh man. I would say playing for Wheeler Avenue. That has been changing in a lot of ways because I'm having to play with a band, but I'm also playing gospel music, and I learned music classically, especially on cello. I don't how am I going to play gospel music on a cello and make it sound like,
Mhm.
make people want to hoop.
Mhm.
And I had to learn that and learn new techniques and all of those things, but it all goes back to how I overall play the cello. And that's why I say it's the biggest like monumental impact thing, because like I can take that with me forever. And I'm really grateful to the musicians that I play with because I'm learning and absorbing from them as well.
Sounds like playing for them has allowed you to challenge yourself
Yes.
and your capabilities with this particular instrument.
Hmm.
Hmm.
But also, since it is music, I can apply it to piano and apply it to guitar and apply it to how I would sing.
Hmm. Speaking of challenges, as an independent artist, what are some of the challenges you face in the music industry today, and how do you overcome them?
Facing challenges in the music industry today. Just having to prove myself.
Mhm.
People look at me and they think, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." And
Mhm.
I don't ever want to be pretentious or too proud, but I'm like, no, I have to assert myself and be like, okay, and I've been doing this for, some years now. So that's really just the biggest challenge. And I think also just being profiled because I'm a black girl,
Mhm.
So, and I'm also doing something that most would consider ambitious.
Mhm.
So people don't think I can make that feat, but I'm like, no, I'm
I
doing it.
can do it. I
Yeah.
actually am doing it,
Yes.
and I'm living out my dream.
Exactly.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
Where do you see yourself in 3, 4, 5 years?
Hmm. I think on that a lot too.
Hmm.
Hopefully living, in this nice big space. I don't know what that's gonna be, but um, being able to play music for a living and just being able to mostly spend my time with my loved ones,
Hmm.
having the freedom to be able to do that by playing music for others, and also giving back by playing the music to others, and maybe teaching music to people as well, because I also was teaching elementary school music
Oh,
for a
wonderful.
while with pre-K through fifth.
Hmm.
And so seeing all of their smiles and the difference I made in their lives, I'm like, somehow I want to have that in the next 3 years. I don't know how, but oh, I just love them. And they're just so googly eyed at you, and they'll, they look up to you. They'll repeat any motion, anything that you say.
Hmm.
It's so cute.
I love that. I love that. What advice would you give to aspiring musicians and songwriters who are just starting their musical journey?
To even when it gets hard, just keep going. Um, you cannot, if you keep trying to learn, the only way you can go is up. Like you may fall back, you may have to relearn something, but as long as you're going, you can still go up. You can't fall if you're, you can, but you know what I
No, I
mean?
understand completely what you're saying.
Yeah. So
That's
just to
good.
keep trying, and even when it gets really hard, trying to learn something new, that's just a learning curve. So, yeah, you'll just get over that hump once you really start to understand.
Now, I have to wrap this interview up.
Okay.
And we like to leave fans, followers, listeners, and supporters with something inspiring, something empowering, something they can take with them the rest of the day, the rest of the weekend, all the way up to the weekend. What do you want to leave us with today, Miss Klarc?
Hmm. Something to take away for the
Hmm.
weekend.
Hmm.
Always try to live your dreams. Do what's best for you.
Mhm. How do we find you?
You can find me on social media at Klarc Naomi on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and my Twitter is Klarc Naomi Music. TikTok is Klarc period Naomi as well.
Guys, we're going to have a live performance by Miss Klarc here shortly, and you'll be able to follow this performance by going to our social media platforms. Miss Klarc, I really appreciate you taking your time and connecting with us today, sharing your world with us today.
Thank you.
We are grateful for you.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Guys, I'm going to leave you with the same thing I always leave you with. Be the change you want to see. And if not you, who? If not now, when? This is the Amanda Sapp Morning Show on Amazing 102.5 FM. Again, your Do Good Through Good station where we're changing lives one listener at a time. Until next time, I'm out.